Time now for the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Central Iowa Sports Network. From the smallest towns to the biggest cities, watch the Iowa girl compete for the title of state champion. CISN.TV's coverage of the state tournament is presented by Mid-American Energy, Schottenkirk Chevy of Waukee, Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottlers. Also brought to you by the Iowa Pork Producers, Shields, Fairway Foods, Una Vista University, the Better Business Bureau. Now let's go courtside at Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines for state tournament basketball.
And we're live here at Wells Fargo Arena as we get ready. We have two championship matchups set, and now we're going to have the 3A championships with the first semifinal here coming up. Crestwood and North Polk. Dar Danielson with you. Before we get to that, though, we've got a little time here, and we want to talk with one of the sponsors, one of the people who helps bring this tournament to you, Jeff Stearns, Vice President of Marketing and Advertising at Fairway. And boy, not only do you help support the tournament, but you make a lot of kids happy. You team with the Bisco and throwing a lot of snacks and stuff into the stands there, huh?
Yeah, we're real honored to be able to be part of the Iowa High School Girls Basketball Championship Week. And along with our vendor partners, Nabisco, Frito-Lay, and Sara Lee, it's a good time, and hopefully the students have fun at halftime in our contest that we do.
Yeah, now who thinks that up? They have a deal where if you haven't seen it, you have to put on the Fairway shirt and spell it out in order, and then you go make a basket.
Yeah.
Who came up with that idea?
Actually, I think we saw that it might have been at an Iowa State game they had that, so we took it from there. About every other year, we try to mix it up a little bit on what we do, so you don't have the same thing year after year.
It's kind of fun. It adds a little extra in that, halftime and stuff for the fans to get involved, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's great to get, and especially since we get a student from each school, so you get the whole crowd involved in it, and they're really cheering and having a good time.
Used to be the Fairways were only in some of these smaller towns around the state, but you guys have kind of expanded out. I know you just opened a new store out there on Fleur.
On Fleur, yeah.
By the Des Moines Airport.
Yeah, we like to call it Fairway on Fleur.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's our 121st store.
Wow.
And we're in 5 states, so yeah, we're really proud of that.
And I think I saw on IPTV they ran a profile too of the company, didn't they, a while back, where they kind of showed the beginning and how you've expanded out.
Yeah, it's a great story. I know we have a little bit on our website if you want to read on it, but the Beckwith family and how they started the company, it's a really neat story.
And you guys are a little different too. You have the stores aren't always the mega huge stores, and you're not open on Sunday either, right?
Yeah, we're one of the very few left, I think, in the country that still are not open on Sunday. And our claim to fame, of course, is our fresh meat market. And we like to think of ourselves a little more convenient, smaller size store, easy to shop.
So chances are a lot of these, especially the small towns, that Fairway might be the only grocery store in town, huh?
Yeah, we have a few communities like that. One of the teams that's playing here right now, Cresco, we're the only store in that town, and Fairway does well there.
So what is it about supporting this? I guess it's just a natural if it's the Iowa company. And
we have so many young kids that work in our stores going through high school that it's just a nice payback to be able to be part of Iowa high school sports.
Now, is it a requirement you have to wear a tie if you work there?
Currently, right now, yes, we still wear white shirts and black ties.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And you still bring the groceries out to the car.
Still bring the groceries
right?
out to the car, which not many groceries chains left do that either.
Sometimes the traditions are good, like the girls' state basketball tournament, to keep those, to keep them going, huh?
Oh yeah. And I even go back to the years when I was in high school as the 6-on-6 game, so that was interesting.
Well, how did you get started in Fairway?
My father was in it, so after college I worked for Coca-Cola for a few years and came back to Fairway after I graduated college.
Wow, okay. Well, we appreciate you being a partner and also helping us stream the games, and we've got a lot of good comments on that. And also, every now and then I reach up and I grab one of those Oreos or something they're throwing in the stands.
If you need more, we have plenty to give out.
Okay, all right. You said the magic words. Jeff Stearns, Vice President of Marketing and Advertising. Thanks for joining us here at Fairway, and we'll have people look forward to the contests and the goodies thrown out throughout the tournament.
All right, thank you.
A lot. We'll take a break. We'll come back and get more of our pregame here after this on CISN.TV.
It has become something of a lost art, remembering someone's face, remembering a name. They're the building blocks of a strong, caring community. Can you think of anything else more important than that? We can't.
And here, we don't just dream, we make history by nearly doubling our clean energy as part of our 100% renewable vision. With this, our energy costs will remain some of the lowest in the nation. We'll create new jobs and boost economic growth. Our air will be cleaner, our state stronger, and together, we'll advance this country's energy future forever. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service. This is Iowa.
Back here at courtside, Dar Danielson, and joining me now is Jackie Sapp, will be providing color commentary. And heading down the home stretch, Jackie, we got the 5A and 4A title set up, and now 3A here. And this one, the Crestwood Cadets, a number 1 seed against the number 5 North Polk, and this should be another good ball game.
Yes, it should. You had 2 good ones this morning in the 5A, and then there was a good one in the first game of the 4A. So
I know that Johnston one didn't quite come out the way you wanted it from Johnston, but man, those girls gave a heck of a run, didn't they?
They had too many turnovers, I think.
Yep.
But to get to this game, and I've really been looking forward to this game. My first head coaching start was at Cresco, so kind of dear to my heart. I'll never forget I had an athletic director by the name of Bob McNew that said, when we go to 5-on-5, we're going to be good. And every state tournament's appearance they've had has been in the 5-on-5 games. So there must have been something he knew, and same thing with North Polk. Tonight I kind of give the advantage to Crestwood because of their height, because of their success. North Polk is going to have their work cut out for them if you just take a look at their size.
Well, we're just about ready to get the starting lineups here, and as we said, number 1 at 24-0, the Crestwood Cadets taking on the North Polk Comets at 22-3, the number 5 seed coming in. And North Polk, not a very long drive for them, but Crestwood coming out of eastern Iowa, a little farther drive to get down here.
4 hours, and they have a pretty good crowd for driving 4 hours away.
Well, you know, those small towns, they do, don't they? I mean,
well, yeah, and you saw that in the last game.
Yeah, they come down here. So we're just about ready. Joe Hammond will be doing the PA announcing here this afternoon as we get going with the 3A. In the other 2 contests, it'll be Iowa City High and Iowa City West tomorrow at 6 in the 5A title. Marion and Grinnell tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And now let's go to Joe Hammond, the PA announcer.
2018 IGHSAU Iowa Farm Bureau Girls State Basketball Semifinal matchup featuring the number 5 seed North Polk Comets and the number 1 seed Crestwood Cadets. And it's now time to introduce the players in today's semifinal matchup. First, the non-starters and assistant coaches for the number 5 seed North Polk Comets. Number 12, Abby Zimmer. Number 20, Danielle Bonowitz. Number 24, Hannah Foster. Number 25, Carolyn Steffen. Number 33, Sydney Alba. Number 34, Callie Hoppert. Number 40, Sierra McLeod. And number 44, Maddie Brueggemann. The assistant coaches for North Polk are Mark Muhlenthaler and Alex Holmeyer. Now let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches for the number 1 seed Crestwood Cadets. Number 2, Taylor Shelton. Number 10, Lakin Lindhart. Number 11, Kennedy Gall. Number 12, Haley Thomas. Number 13, Annie Mast. Number 20, Brooklyn Berry. And number 30, Samantha Ball. The assistant coaches for Crestwood are Dale Denler, Oakley Hedvig, and Myron Friesen. And now, let's meet your starters from both teams. For North Polk, a 5'8" senior, number 10, Becca Lay. And for Crestwood, a 5'4" senior, number 4, Emily Friesen. For North Polk, a 5'2", junior, number 11, Katie Scott. And for Crestwood, a 5'9", senior, number 14, Shannon Pisney. For North Polk, a 5'10", junior, number 21, Katie Brown. And for Crestwood, a 5'6", senior, number 22, Bryn Boderman. For North Polk, a 5'10", sophomore, number 23, Jaden Murphy. And for Crestwood, a 5'6", senior, number 23, Ellie Friesen. For North Polk, a 5'10", freshman, number 32, Maggie Phipps. And for Crestwood, a 6'2", sophomore, number 40, Sharon Goodman. The head coach for North Polk is Clint Albertson, and the head coach for Crestwood is Doug Sickles. The officials for today's game are Travis Carroll, Mark Boyer, Sean Peterson, and Christopher Ethan. Welcome, North Polk and Crestwood, to the 2018 Iowa Girls State Tournament.
And we're just about ready for basketball action. Jackie Sapp, a couple of keys to the games for these two teams.
Well, I would say for North Polk, as I watched them play in their opening game, they seem to be, nervous, and so they need to come out and be ready to play and settle in quickly. Also rebounding, limiting turnovers, and the big thing is, can they limit touches to Goodman? On the other hand, Cresco needs to keep doing what they've been doing, play good pressure defense to cause turnovers. They also need to control the boards and their inside-outside game. They were here last year. They got beat out first round. I think it makes a difference. I think they also are here with a vengeance. They have a goal and a mission to complete.
Well, they came out and made a statement in the first game, 66-28 over the number 8 seed South Tama. North Polk advanced with a 64-47 win over number 4 seed Davenport Assumption. It was Sharon Goodman with 20 in that game for Crestwood, Shannon Pisney with 19.
And I think that might have been an upset for North Polk to beat Assumption. I mean, I was kind of surprised because of the competition level that Assumption plays, and they were seeded 4. But here we go.
And you see from high above Wells Fargo Arena, the tap controlled by the cadets. They're in the white uniforms with the blue trim there. Nice lob underneath, up and good. Bucket early.
That was a design play.
Right to Pisney, and they get it started. 15 seconds in, they get a bucket. And now here's North Polk in the dark uniforms working with it. Up top, Maggie Phipps. Over to Katie Brown. Brown crosses over, drives in, and she'll get called for the travel.
They're going to be patient, which is good, because if they can control the ball, that's less touches that Crestwood has to score.
Full court pressure looks like we'll see out of North Polk. 2-2-1. Kind of dropping back, though, as the cadets get it into the middle now over left side, and shot up, no good. Rebound put back up and good as Emily Friesen followed her shot and gets the bucket. Friesen had 3 points in that quarterfinal round win, so already got a bucket
Maria's
here early.
2.
Down the lane, runner off the side of the hoop, or the backboard, I should say. And here come the cadets. Chance to extend it. Friesen drives, Ellie Friesen. Over to Emily, now back to Ellie. Here's the 3, good! Pisney.
This is what North Polk can't let them do. They can't let them get, a 10-0 run and
we've seen that. You let a team get out early, it's hard to recover. There's the 3 off, no good. Rebound battled for. A nice cleanup, the garbage put back underneath. Becca Lay gets North Polk on the board.
That takes some nerves away now that they made their first bucket.
Yeah, once you get that first points on the board, it helps, doesn't it? Lob down low. Friesen back outside to Pisney. Shot bounces high off the board, and the rebound pulled down, and we'll have our first foul of this semifinal.
Fouls on Crestwood, number 4, Emily Friesen.
Emily Friesen with the foul.
Foul number 1.
And we got 2 Friesens here in that Johnston game. I had 3 Cooks I had to worry
Oh,
about.
wow.
And one time it was Cook to Cook to Cook.
Friesens are actually move-ins. They moved into Cresco a couple of years ago.
Here's a 3 off a little long. And Ellie Friesen with the rebound, that time the senior guard.
Oh,
And,
got her off her feet.
yep. And another foul.
Fouls on North Polk, number 32.
That's another thing, too. You can't put Cresco on the line. They're shooting 78.7% as a team.
Yeah, I noticed that. Emily Friesen, 93.8%. That's the first on first team foul. And bucket up and good by Pisney.
They're just hitting the weak side girl that's sneaking behind the defense.
Pisney has 7 of the 9 points early, and it's a timeout called by North Polk. We'll take a break and come back with more after this on CISN.TV.
A way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here we don't just dream, we make history. This
It's 9-2, and Sharon Goodman hasn't even touched the ball yet for Crestwood. So they're firing on all cylinders even from other positions.
North Polk, the 3 up and misses. Dart Danielson, Jackie Sapp here in this 3A, the first of 2 3A quarterfinals. Winner meets Monticello, and Sioux Center winner coming up next. Up over the top, Sharon Goodman. We talked about it. She's touched the ball
That's
there.
her first time, yeah.
First time. And that one off. The rebound comes off to Maggie Phipps for North Polk. Here come the Comets. Down the lane like a comet. We're streaking right through there is Maggie Phipps. And cut the lead down to 5.
I think as long as they keep attacking the basket, they'll be okay. But when they start shooting threes, they could get themselves in some trouble.
Ellie Friesen over to the corner. 3 is off long. And everybody goes down.
Yeah, we got a couple people on the floor.
2 or 3 players going down, and Crestwood comes up with the ball. There's a 3. Good! Emily Friesen gets a 3. And almost halfway through the first quarter, and it's a 12-4 lead. There's a return 3 by Maggie Phipps.
If you can trade them back and forth, that's good for both teams. They're doing a nice job on Goodman. I mean, they're double teaming her.
Good look underneath to her that time, just as you said that.
I know.
You jinxed him, Jackie.
They're probably going to have to reverse the ball and hit her. They're not going to be able to hit her on the strong side. They're probably going to have to hit her from the weak side of the floor.
14-7. Crestwood, here's North Polk with it. Katie Brown. She drives in and draws the foul. That'll be Friesen.
Yes.
Emily Friesen.
Yes.
Her second.
If North Polk keeps penetrating, they're going to be okay. But when they stop and they don't move and they don't attack the basket, I think that's where they could be in some trouble.
Abby Zimmer in there for North Polk. Also Carolyn Steffen into the lineup for North Polk. As they try to battle back here. Steffen looked at the 3, decided to drive in against Goodman, and then gets it swatted away.
From behind.
Yep, into the hands of Shannon Pisney. Here comes Ellie Friesen across the
Nice
lane to
pass.
Goodman. So give the assist to Ellie Friesen and Goodman to bucket. And the lead's up to 9. Katie Scott gets it back out for 3. No good. Goodman pulls it down. And that's going to be an issue getting 2 shots at it, isn't it, for North Polk with Goodman in there rebounding.
And she runs the floor really well. That was threading the needle.
Yep, to Pizzi. Oh, there's a
shoot a roll. It's a good luck bounce.
Yep, Friesen her second three, in and out and down. And the lead now is suddenly ballooned to 12. The Shields three-point play there. I was not that great in math, but.
That's all right, me neither. Whatever you say is good.
Okay. Crossover down the lane, high floater, and it's going to off.
She's altering shots, just her size in there and her hands up.
Goodman in, posts up this time. The easy turnaround kiss off the glass for Sharon Goodman.
They must have heard me when I said that she hadn't touched the ball.
Well, she's got 6 now, and the lead is 21-7. We'll take a break and come back with more after this on CISN.TV.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
At Wells Fargo Arena, Crestwood has roared out to a 14-point lead here. And they hadn't gone to Goodman early. They've had the 3 threes, but then Jackie Sepp said they need to go to her, and man, they did. And you called it. They found a way to get her the ball. And the last one was just right under the basket. Easy turnaround off the glass.
Well, another thing, too, is because they've hit from the outside, they've really kind of opened the middle. The last time she was more open in the middle, they weren't packing it so much.
A blistering 69% from the floor here to start out for Crestwood. North Polk only 30%.
It's pretty tough to be a team that's shooting that well.
Under 2 minutes now to play in the first period. North Polk's going to try to cut down a little bit on the damage here in the first quarter. On the drive, Jaden Murphy, and a foul on the floor will be called against Ellie Friesen.
Fouls on Crestwood. Number 23, Ellie Friesen, her first
third team foul here on the Cadets.
You know, I will give North Polk credit. They are not shying away, even though they're playing the #1 team.
There's the 3 off, no good. Rebound pulled out, almost thrown across half court, but Katie Brown handles the pass out from Becca Lay, who got the rebound, and she'll pull up, jumper off, no good, and rebound again to Becca Lay. So she's helping out underneath there. And they'll try to reverse it. Katie Brown lobs in Murphy, and it's blocked.
That was double block.
Goodman, yep. And back the other way with it. Quick down.
Oh, they run the floor so well.
Shannon Pisney off the feed from Friesen. And 11 points already for Pisney. Jumper up, off, no good. A rebound comes off to Ellie Friesen for the Cadets. Dribbles in, lobs it over to Goodman. Nice look. 8 points now for Goodman.
Ellie Friesen, she is a good point guard. She sees the floor so well. She's made some tough passes in transition.
And now they can't seem to find the answer for Goodman inside, Jackie.
No.
Here's a little lob up and no good by Phipps. I thought Phipps might play a little bigger role in this down there against Goodman, but so far she hasn't. Now they're double teaming down there trying to with Jaden Murphy and Maggie Phipps.
Of course, you got a freshman. Well, freshman against a sophomore. I guess it's not that much difference.
And a little bit of size advantage. You got two 5'10" players trying to guard a 6'2" down there.
Goodman's got a couple of big time.
Friesen, the 3. The Shields 3-point play there, and that's the third tray for Emily Friesen. And another timeout called as the lead is ballooned to 21 here for Crestwood. We'll take a break and come back with more after this.
Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 18 Silverado Double Cab 4x4 All-Star Edition. Power price, $99 per month lease. $99 per month. New 18 Silverado Crew Cab 4x4 All-Star Edition. $219 per month lease. 18 Equinox. $199 per month lease. New 18 Cruise LTs. $18,790. Hurry in for best selection. The Power Price Event. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
The opportunities I've had, the people I've met, I couldn't have imagined a better college experience. The professor gets to know you really quickly. I know that people know who I am and that they care about me. With the opportunities I have here, I'm going to be able to succeed. Now I just feel like I can do anything. I don't know, just the opportunities I've had, the people I've met, I couldn't have imagined a better college experience. The professor gets to know you really quickly. I know that people know who I am and that they care about me. With the opportunities I have here, I'm going to be able to succeed. Now I just feel like I can do anything.
Here at Wells Fargo Arena, and a blistering pace, Jackie sat for Crestwood here, shooting early on.
75% from the field, 57 from 3.
4 of 7, yep.
And another thing is there's only been one turnover in the whole game, and that was on North Polk.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's just unbelievable.
And then, of course, that percentage when you're Goodman catching and turning and banking it off the glass, that's why you're getting such a high percentage there too.
2-foot shots, yeah, you're right.
You mentioned it early. She hadn't seen a touch early on, and 28-7 here as we start the second quarter.
And she's averaging 19 points, so she was going to eventually have to see the ball. But I think it was probably 4 minutes into the first quarter before she did.
And the rebound comes off to Crestwood again. Ellie Friesen over on the left side on the drive, up no good, and the rebound pulled down by Katie Brown. Inside and good. Nice move there by Jaden Murphy. She gets on the board.
She went right at Goodman.
Now back comes lob inside to Goodman and tapped away. That time they triple teamed her and they got to the ball.
The ball was in the air and you saw everybody run to the post.
Here's 2 and off no good and pulled down by Ellie Friesen. She'll dribble over. And the 2-pointer.
That was by Pisney.
Yep. Pisney gets the 2. She's got 11 already.
She's got a nice shot, nice rotation.
And North Polk up top. Brown for 3, no good. And knocked off, let's see.
North Polk.
Oh, North Polk. Looked like she tried to knock it off of Friesen, but couldn't quite do it.
Friesen might have sold the official because right away she was pointing the other end of the floor.
So Carolyn Steffen comes back in for Becca Lay for North Polk. The Comets trailing here by 21. There's a 3 short, and the rebound is run down by Linhard. Outside for 3 again, short, and the rebound pulled off by Murphy, Jaden Murphy for North Polk.
Crestwood's got to make sure they just don't settle for 3s and that they work the ball inside.
Katie Brown had trouble handling that. Now over to the corner. Back out to Brown. She shoots it across the court. Drive, kick. 3. Good!
Patient. Got the defense out of position and got the outside shot.
The Shields 3-point play by Katie Brown. You got Goodman posted inside there against Murphy, but they'll rotate it around to Pisney. Now Friesen throws it across court. Jumper is short there by Lakin Linehart. North Polk pushes it up quickly.
Again, they're being really patient on offense, which again, when you have the ball in your hands, somebody else is not scoring.
Jaden Murphy loses it. Emily Friesen checks back in for Weinhardt.
I think if you can pass and cut, you're going to be more successful against Cresco. I don't think you can try to just create on your own.
Out wide to Emily Friesen, back up top to Pisney. And now Ellie Friesen. Drops in, nice give and go up and off the glass. Shannon Pisney.
Pisney's one of those versatile players. She can play, she blocks or sets up in the block, and then she also plays outside.
13 for Pisney here already. 3 short, rebound comes off to Friesen. It's so hard, we talked about it, you get in a 21-point hole after the first quarter, and now North Polk has got to
work harder
to dig back.
It's possible, but it takes a lot of energy out of you.
Friesen, jumper good. Ellie Friesen, her first bucket.
She's the playmaker.
And a 22-point lead. Dribble spin and
another block.
Yep, Phipps gets blocked. And lob underneath, Goodman up and good.
She just runs the floor so well for a 6'2" girl.
Yep, 10 points for her now.
She has Iowa and Iowa State both looking at her as a sophomore.
They're going to like what they see out of this game so far. There's a 3 by Katie Brown. Her second one, the Shields 3-point play.
And she's only going to get better as time goes on.
.62, will she grow anymore?
No.
Probably not.
Probably not. I mean, she's, you know, she's still kind of a little awkward, or maybe I shouldn't say awkward, but strength. She could get stronger.
Goodman there fighting for it. I know it seems like boys, they say when they get into college, they seem to go a little more, but girls, they mature faster, so they don't.
Usually by 16, they're done.
Yeah. Well, timeout here, 2:57 to play, and the Crestwood in command, 36-15, back with more after this.
The value of staying active cannot be overlooked in our lives or our young athletes. However, high-intensity workouts come with the risk of injury. If you or your child have sustained a sports injury, Select Physical Therapy in conjunction with Iowa Ortho are here to help with 2 convenient walk-in locations.
From diagnosis through recovery, you'll be put directly into the hands of experts who will evaluate and treat your sports-related injury.
Call us today for an evaluation.
To Joe.
Back here at Wells Fargo, 2:57 to play in the second quarter, and it's a 21-point lead here by Crestwood. It's been 22's been the biggest lead, but they've just controlled everything here. And after the timeout, here's the drive, and they lose the handle. There's a scramble, and North Polk comes away with it. Becca Lay up ahead now for 3. Good. Katie Brown trying to keep him in it. That's 9 points here for her in the second quarter, and another Shields 3-point play. Boderman, haven't even talked about her too much. No. Everybody else has been in the action, but she hasn't had to.
She's only taken 1 shot, I believe.
She had 7 in the quarterfinal. Up top, and there's a drive, and man, they just defense let her split through that time. Shannon Pisney has 15.
She's another one that probably could play somewhere at the college level at a smaller school. She's got some good skills.
Lob into Becca Lay. She's not going to turn and take it up against Goodman. And there's a 3.
Wow, that was a long 3.
Katie Brown has 12 points all on threes here in the second quarter, trying to keep him in it. Goodman misses and put back in the foul.
She does a nice job of keeping the ball up, and she gets her rebound. See, that's another thing. That's a strength right there for a girl to keep the ball above her head, use her legs, and get up, because lots of times they want to bring the ball down. She has been schooled on that.
Goodman will shoot 1 and hits it, and she is a 75% free throw shooter. Another thing, a big post player that can hit free throws is another.
Because you're going to get fouled a lot. Yeah, exactly. Crestwood's probably going to come out, have to play a little bit tighter on the 3.
And that three is off, one of the first there, and looks like Maggie Phipps, she comes up limping, and she's in trouble there, and she twisted something, and they call timeout for her. And
that happened on the rebound, or?
I don't know, must have
tweaked it or something.
Yeah, Abby Zimmer will come in, the freshman guard, replacing the other freshman guard. Trade-off is 4 inches in height there, but 1:28 to play. Crestwood well in hand here in the first half. Friesen, crossover. Tries to lob it through the lane, but it's picked off there by Brown. She's been the bright spot here with the threes, and
might be on Goodman. Yep.
Her first, fourth team foul.
You know, Ellie Friesen kind of reminds me of Maya McDermott, the way they carry themselves on the floor and their passing.
The way they can get to the hoop quick and their passing.
Yep.
And it seems like they both get off the floor pretty good too, you know. Here's a three, good by Carolyn Steffen. And she gets in the...
That's a fifth three they've hit, 5 for 13.
And 3 points for Steffen. Yeah, 4 of those out of Katie Brown here in the second quarter. Up top, now over. And Friesen, she'll drive, get a little high bounce there, and now dishes it off, and a travel, travel called.
I think they dropped back into a zone that time. They're kind of just packed in.
Yeah, it kind of surprised them a little bit, that change in the defense. So here comes North Polk trying to get any points they can here to cut this lead down before the half. And here's another three. Brown misses that time, so she hit like 4 in a row and then has missed the last couple. As we come down to the final under 10 seconds now. Friesen, we'll see what happens here. Over right side, there's a block shot, but put back up, not gonna go. So it'll be 44-24, a 20-point lead at the half here for Crestwood, the number 1 seed over the number 5 seed North Polk Comets. We'll take a break. We'll come back with a look at the halftime stats and a halftime guest after this on CI.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us. Or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
Here, we don't just dream, we make history by nearly doubling our clean energy as part of our 100% renewable vision. With this, our energy costs will remain some of the lowest in the nation. We'll create new jobs and boost economic growth. Our air will be cleaner, our state stronger, and together we'll advance this country's energy future forever. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service. This is Iowa.
Community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
You put that back here at halftime. Dar Danielson with you. At the half, it's 41-24, Crestwood over North Polk. And joining us now is Trent Edson, the head coach of Grinnell. I know you went away disappointed last year, but now here you've taken the other step to where you want to be in that championship game, Coach.
I can't say enough about these kids and their effort these last couple of weeks. And, this season, going into this season, and, as we chose, kind of a motto, it was unfinished business. And it was one thing, and it was great for the school and community last year to, get to that state tournament for the first time, but getting there this year wasn't going to be enough for this group of kids. They wanted to take that a step further, and we've had the opportunity now to, get a chance to play for the state championship. So just very proud of these kids.
And sometimes you can say that, but if you don't buy in and do the work to come back, because it's not a given you get back to state and you're going to advance, but you guys have obviously put in the work to do that and take that next step, haven't you?
Yeah, they have. And, we talk about that too, because a lot of times people will talk about, who wants it more. And, everybody wants it. Everybody wants to get here, but who's willing to, sacrifice, some free time, and who's willing to commit to what we're doing and to buy in the way in which we want to do things in order to be successful. And I've got a group of kids that have bought into what we're doing. They bought into the hard work, and they've focused ever since the state tournament last year.
We're talking with Trent Edson, the head coach of the Grinnell. They win 68-47 over Lamar's to head into the championship game, and you had Sienna Durr with 23, Naomi Jackson 18, and Macy Harris with 15. Pretty good balanced spread of scoring there.
That's been our one of our strengths this entire year, is just our ability to pick each other up. If somebody's not having a good game or somebody's struggling shooting, we've got all different weapons out there that are capable of scoring. And we've talked about that game after game, and we've been led in scoring by 4 different people throughout this entire season. So I think that balance gives us a big strength in each of our games.
Well, the good news is you advance. The bad news, you play the number 1 seed, but you'd rather advance and play the number 1 seed than not, right?
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we would definitely, looking forward to this. And this is a game that, our kids have, we focus one game at a time, but there's no doubt in our mind that Marion has been on these kids' minds throughout the entire season, because they've seen Marion up at the top of the rankings, and we've been close to the top of the rankings throughout the entire year. And they've seen some of these kids and throughout some of the AAU circuit. So we're just excited, and I think it's going to be a great basketball game.
How do you see you matching up there?
I think it's going to be a lot like playing ourselves. I think they've got they like to push the pace. They're very athletic. They're tall and lanky. And and they shoot the ball very well from the outside. They've scored a lot of points this year, just like we have. They've got a lot of depth too, and I think that's something that they definitely have a little advantage there, on their depth. So, but we're excited for this matchup. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
So the plan, you go home, right? Tonight, or
yeah.
Are you staying down here? I know Grinnell's not that far, really, but
oddly enough, our kids have finals, trimester finals,
okay.
Today and tomorrow. So our kids actually took finals this morning, and they actually need to get home and study tonight. So nothing like.
Well, that'll help maybe calm the nerves a little bit about thinking ahead to the championship.
It might be a good distraction. Yeah, a good distraction. I know it's been a little bit of a stressful week. We've got kids that are super good students, and they're very self-conscious about that, and it's been a little bit extra of a stressor throughout the week as well. So, but we'll go home, get them rested, take their test tomorrow, and then be back down here tomorrow afternoon.
Well, tomorrow night it's 8 o'clock on IPTV, and we'll look forward to seeing you there. And good luck against Marion, Coach, and thanks for joining us here on CISN.TV.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more after this on CISN.TV.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community. You want to
I opened the Hearing Clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
Dar Danielson, Jackie Sapp here at halftime as Peter Torpy, our producer, is looking to try to grab some Oreo minis there. Jackie, you're North Polk's coach. You know, you face this in the first half, and what do you say to to them to, you know, come out in the second half, get them going?
Well, they've got to do some things to make Crestwood turn the ball over. I mean, Crestwood, they have 4 turnovers to North Polk's 2, but another thing, too, is when Crestwood's shooting 62%, that's a pretty darn good percentage, and when the ball goes in the black hole, it never comes out. You got Goodman making it. So if I'm North Polk, I'm going to probably say to my team, you need to limit the touches, pressure the pass on the outside, not let the ball get inside. And another thing, too, is we need to make sure we're taking good shots on our end. They did get hot at three-point land, and that, you know, brought the score a little bit closer.
Well, and you mentioned it. That was the thing. They hit, like, I think 4 threes before Goodman even got a touch on the ball, and that really loosened up the inside.
Yeah.
You know, North Polk, you're coming out, okay, we got to stop Goodman down low. We got to stop her, and then all of a sudden bombs away outside, and your strategy changed a little bit, and then all of a sudden, boom, you can't stop Goodman down low. So, man, it's just a double whammy.
And North Polk did change defenses. They went to a zone, so, you know, maybe if they do a little bit of that, and I don't even know if that, you know, you can't, there's things you haven't done during the season, you can't expect kids to do at the state tournament.
Right.
So if you've only played man your whole season, hardly ever played zone, to expect them to come in here and do that, you know, you can't do that. So I'm not sure that, you know, Crestwood's strictly a man-to-man, you know, defense. And I would even say their defense could have improved because, you know, they were letting the three-point shot be shot uncontested. I mean, they were shooting it easily. So there's some things even Crestwood can do. Just because the score is large, you want your kids to perform at a high level.
Yeah, and one of the bright spots for North Polk there, you look at it, was it 4 of 8 from three-point land for Katie Brown for 12 points to lead them, and she really kind of, I can't say kept it close, but closer than what it would have been had she not hit those threes. And then 5 for Maggie Phipps, the only other players, and then 3 for Carolyn Steffen. But over for Crestwood, 15 for Shannon Pizzey, 13 for Sharon Goodman, and for Goodman, that's 6 of 7 inside a play there. 8 for Emily Friesen, and 5 for Ellie Friesen. So,
do we have an assist category? Because I would say Ellie, they only have
12 assists, isn't it?
Yeah.
12 assists.
I mean,
so
that's like what, 24 points?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know, I mean, she's really been distributing the ball well. You know, one thing is I was just looking at North Polk's lineup, and they have 1 senior. I mean, there's all kinds of good things that can come out of this. They've got young kids. They got a freshman, a junior, a sophomore, and then the 1 senior. So, you know, that's one thing to look at. No matter what the outcome is at the end of the game, is these kids are getting valuable experience, and that's something that you don't get unless you're down here.
And Grinnell, a good example. Their first time down to state, they didn't go as far as they wanted to, but Coach said they got the experience, and then the next year it was to go farther. Now they're into the championship game. So we'll see what happens during the second half.
If Crestwood wins this game, this will be the first time they've ever been in the finals, and they've been down here, I don't know how many times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times they've been down here. So, you know, I mean, lots of things have to happen, and it's not all, you know, luck's got to be in your side too.
And you also call it the problem for North Polk is the amount of energy you have to expend to even get back even here will be a big thing. So
you can
see.
You can expend that in the third quarter, and then when the fourth quarter comes, you just don't have the gas to, you don't have enough energy to finish it off.
Looks like Becca Lay, Katie Scott, Katie Brown, Jaden Murphy, Maggie Phipps back out there on the floor for North Polk to start the second half. And I'm assuming Crestwood will come back with their starters here once again. You see some of the first half highlights there. And there was, that was Pisney with the shot. And here's Brown with one of her 4 threes in the first half as she drained that one. And Crestwood will get the ball to start. Emily Friesen, Shannon Pisney, Bryn Boderman, Ellie Friesen, and Sharon Goodman. The starters back here for the cadets. They'll be in the white uniforms with the blue trim, as you see there on the screen. We get underway with the third quarter. There's a lob inside, up, no good off the basket, and taken down by Becca Lay on the rebound. Here comes Katie Scott. Jaden Murphy. Turns down, she'll just shoot the 3. Good! She's
got a nice shot.
Yes. Murphy with the Shields 3-point play and gets them on the board first to start the second half. And bounce pass out.
This is where you can't get complacent. When you have a lead, sometimes you have a tendency to stand and you're not moving your offense. Plus, they're playing zone, so they're throwing them something different.
Boderman out to Friesen, lobs it down on the baseline, fake, and then a foul called on the drive by Pisney. And
I just found out that Ellie Friesen is going to South Dakota State next year to run track.
Oh.
So basketball's not even her main sport.
Jaden Murphy with the foul, the second team foul, and the free throw is up and good by Pisney. That's her 16th point. She's about an 80% free throw shooter. You can talk about that, man. They just great at the line. Hits the second one. And back up to 43-27. Murphy drives in. Oh, nice look across the lane.
Didn't rotate.
To Becca Lay. She's got 4 points now off the assist by Jaden Murphy. (43-29).
See, sometimes when someone else plays a zone, offenses have a tendency to stand.
There's a shot up, no good. Rebound, Murphy rips it out of there. She's going to push the issue. Now we'll take it in, up, and gets the runner going as Boderman falls down. And Murphy gets point number 7. And down to a 12-point lead. Inside, up, and how do you end the run? You go to Goodman.
Yep. North Polk's doing a nice job. They're just chipping away.
Up and off the glass. Murphy. She's got 9 points now. And 6 of those coming here in the quarter. And there's Goodman answers. She's got 17. So the back and forth here.
And they've all been in the paint shots.
Spin by Phipps. Bounce pass to Lay, and she's not going to go up against Goodman.
No.
Big size mismatch there, and here's a 3. Good by Katie Brown. I'm going to start calling her downtown Katie Brown, I think, when she hit that one. The Shields 3-point play, that's her 5th 3-pointer. And knocked away by Pisney. Or Phipps, rather. Now Phipps back the other way. She takes it in, gets the foul, up, gets the walk. She wanted the foul. I'm saying, where was it? But Pisney was right there on the defense, and Phipps ends up with the travel.
You got to give North Polk a lot of credit. They're going right at them. They're making this a game.
Back the other way. Lob inside Goodman, and she just gets knocked down.
Put her hip into her.
Yep. By Becca Lay. Her second team foul here of the half on North Polk. Inside, no good, and Goodman taps it, keeps it alive. Emily Friesen comes away with it. Here's a three, short. Rebound comes out long, though, right back to North Polk, to Boderman. Into Goodman, turn around, bucket and a foul. And she is fired up on that one.
Yes, she is. You know, when you play down low there, though, you get bumped and beat. Sometimes you get fouled, sometimes you don't. So it's sweet when you can make a three-point play.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot of action. And free throw bounces high and won't go. Pulled down by Lay. Yeah, you get beat around, and it's nice when you can get a chance to make them pay for that. Here's a three. Off, no good. The rebound comes off to Emily Friesen on the far side. 49-36. As North Polk's come out halfway through here the third quarter, made a little bit of a run at it.
They've made some adjustments for sure.
And now we'll pull it back out.
I think they're trying to get North Polk to come out and guard them.
And boy, out of all the travels we've seen in that one,
I know.
21
but
points
we were clear across. We were right there.
Yeah. 51-36. Goodman now with 21. There's a spin off, and there's a foul. As Jade Murphy's kind of taking it on her shoulders to try to bring him back here, hasn't she?
Fouls on Crestwood, number 23, Ellie Friesen.
She's a nice player. And again, sophomore, she's only going to get better.
Friesen's second foul. And Murphy to the free throw line. Hits it. She's got 10. And Carolyn Steffen in and Abby Zimmer back in for North Polk. Second free throw is away and good. 11 points now for Jaden Murphy. 9 of those coming here in the third quarter. Come the Comets. Excuse me, the Cadets. Cadets and Comets. The double C for the mascots.
Comets would be, well, North Polk and Charles City, which is in the same league as the Cadets.
Down the lane, dish off to Goodman. Man, she ripped that away
shot
from the
that
defender. Yeah. Goodman with 23 here. Ripped it right out of the hands of Murphy. And here's Brown. Brown, this time the three doesn't fall. And back the other way for the Comets. Broderman hands off to Emily Friesen. Kicks it outside for the other Friesen, and she leaves it short, and Emily's going to try to run it down and almost head first into the water cooler over there. And North Polk wants a timeout. 53-28, they trail with 2:32 to go in this 3A semifinal. Back with more after this on CISN.TV.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Here are the fans enjoying the dance cam at Wells Fargo, and North Polk has outscored them 14-12 here to start the third quarter, but when you trail by 17, that's what we talked about.
It gets back to what you said, you know, how much harder you had to work. But, you know, as I was sitting here and I've been watching, because since I used to coach, I watch the coaches a lot. And both of these coaches are letting their kids play. Other words, I've seen some games where coaches try to take too much control.
Get mad at them,
and, you know, and just want to call everything. You got to just let the kids play.
Let them get the feel. Murphy throws it across. Nice look, and a foul from behind on Friesen. As Murphy found Carolyn Steffen.
Crestwood's having some trouble on defense. They're not sagging and picking up the weak side. There's a couple times that they've scored on the weak side.
That's the third on Friesen, and the free throw drops off for Steffen. Friesen, who had, I think, 12 assists in the first half, has 2 more in the second here so far, and the 2 missed free throws, and Friesen gets a rebound. So, missed opportunity that time down for North Polk. Here's a 3, rolls around the cylinder and out, and the rebound to North Polk. Maggie Phipps will bring it up. 2 minutes to play in the third. Murphy spins in, up, and good. Murphy with 13. 11 of those in the third quarter. And the lead at 13 still. Friesen will dribble up to the top. Across, Friesen for 3, out, no good, and the rebound battled for down there. And they're going to call, looks like Emily Friesen with the foul. That'll be her third, I believe.
I think sometimes you got to remember how you got your lead.
Did they? No, they didn't call a foul. They just
No,
said it was
it
out.
was out of bounds,
Okay,
yeah.
I thought he called
No,
the
it was out
foul
of
on her, but
bounds.
no, it was out of bounds. Okay.
It was out of bounds on
I anticipated the
Emily
call, but I'm
Fries.
not. There was just action underneath, going for it. No foul. And the drive and the trip by Steffen. And there's sometimes little spots on this floor where you kind of stick, and it looked like it was one that time.
I think
there.
he's going to go check to
the
make sure it's
officials
wiped.
is checking too, because I think he saw the same thing we did. He was checking to make sure there's no water or something down there, because it's like her foot just stuck as she was coming across there. And she fell. Well, now coming up on a minute to play. Crestwood, a #1 seed here with the lead. Trying to wind down the third quarter. Over to Ellie Friesen. Now lob back inside, up and good. Nice little give and go with Pisney.
That's twice they've ran that screen and roll. And it's been the same result.
Lead back up to 15. Maggie Phipps spins, now around. Oh, floater won't go. Battle for the rebound, and it's knocked back out to her. She puts up the 3, no good, and the rebound pulled down by Pisney. As Phipps had a couple shots at it. Over on the wing to Broderman. Goodman decides not to take the 3 there.
No.
I don't know how many she shot on the season, but
Well,
here's a drive. Friesen gets it to go, and that will end the quarter and make it a 57-40 result, and right back where we were when we started this quarter. So we'll take a break and come back with more after this on CISN.TV.
Arrived at the all-new Fireplace Superstore. Drop in and check out all the new 2017 patio furniture. At Fireplace Superstore, you will find Central Iowa's most complete outdoor furniture selection for your deck and patio, including gas and charcoal grills, fire pits, and wicker furniture. Get in on the early spring savings going on now. Fireplace Superstore has been creating your outdoor style for over 35 years. Fireplace Superstore just west of Homemakers on Douglas in Urbandale.
Back here at Wells Fargo, 57-40 after 3. Go ahead, Jackie.
I was going to say some things I was just thinking about, because I always like to try to educate the fan out there that maybe doesn't see a whole lot of basketball. But both of these schools, or as we get into like 3A, 2A, 1A, they don't play on collegiate-sized courts like especially your 5As do. So that's another thing. You're running further, and when you're behind and you're expending more energy, that just adds to it. I mean, yes, you have nerves that you're going on. Another thing too is Crestwood. This is a time they really need to be disciplined. Even though they have this big lead, when they get in the championship game, they have got to be disciplined, because it's going to be a whole different type of game. So you can't take shots that are low percentage shots. You need to work the ball. Go with your bread and butter.
So North Polk only matched them 16 all in that third quarter, but when you're trailing by 7, that's an issue.
It's a tough battle uphill.
So they played a good quarter, but didn't gain any ground on the whole deal. Lob underneath to Rebecca Lay. She runner off the glass is good. Rebecca Lay has 6 points.
See, now they're coming out in full court pressing because nice pass.
Up to Goodman.
You don't teach that. That's a point guard that sees the floor.
25 for Goodman. Crossover. And a bounce pass to Becca Lay. Run down by Maggie Phipps. Across the floor for 3. Good! Katie Scott hits the Shields 3-point play. And her first bucket of the day. 59-45. Inside. Shot is no good by Pisney. Lob it up ahead. Brown pulls back for 3, and that's off. And Goodman gets the rebound out of there, but she traveled. Yeah. Under a little pressure and tried to spin around and hand it off, but she traveled with it.
That's when you get going too fast.
And North Polk will inbound it.
You know, had they played this way in the first quarter, this would be a whole different ball game.
Yep. But also credit Crestwood the way they came out hot there.
Yeah.
And then out of bounds. It'll go back to Crestwood. Well, the winner of this will face Monticello. The winner of the Monticello-Sioux Center game at 3 o'clock on Saturday in the championship as things shifted around a little bit championship-wise.
And that next game will be a good game. Both those schools are good ball clubs.
And then a tangle up down low, and they're going to call Goodman with the offensive foul there against Jaden Murphy.
That's only her second. That's kind of amazing.
And Goodman's won most of the battles down there with Jaden Murphy today with 25 points. There's Murphy. Hands it off. Katie Scott. She stops and goes against Friesen. Friesen calling for the travel, not going to get it, and the 3 is up and no good by Murphy. Rebound comes off to Ellie Friesen. Lob down to Goodman, up and Goodman is good.
She does a nice job keeping that ball up.
And that's 27 for her.
We're probably seeing one of the better centers in all classes, and her just her composure and her presence down low and her fundamentals.
Lob over. Becca Lay, she drives in, gets it back to Goodman, and there's a foul. I think that might go against Pisney. Yep. First on Pisney, the 4th on Crestwood, and to the line, Jaden Murphy. She's got 13 points. And misses the free throw there. 1 of 2 from the line today.
See, and that's another thing too, when you put all this energy out, free throws
get a little harder in the legs. Yeah,
they do. She really bent down that time.
Yeah, bent down and followed through. The key there. And here comes Crestwood. Taken away by Becca Lay. Across the lane to Lay. She turns, puts it up, and had Goodman altered that. She didn't touch it, but Lay had to kind of alter the shot when she turned around and saw her there. Emily Friesen up top. Now lob down to Goodman. Fakes up and good. 29. 10 above her average here.
Yeah, that takes a lot of practice, and get the ball on the strong side, reverse it. They got to pin the defense. That just doesn't, you don't do that without working at it.
North Polk wants a timeout. We'll take a break. They trail 61-46. More after this on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Here at Wells Fargo, North Polk fans are happy even though their team is trailing, and a fun time for them. You get to play 2 games down here, and that's always good.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You know, you get into the semifinals, so you get more than one trip.
There are 5A schools that had girls and will have boys down here.
A lot of them double up, yep. And there's Goodman with the rebound off the miss.
Who did North Polk beat to get here? The boys, do you know?
I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping up. I've had my head straight in the books here on the girls trying to keep up. There's a 3 by Shannon Pisney. She's got 22 points now. And North Polk pulls it out, trailing by 20. There's a 3 going to bounce high, and the rebound comes off to Ellie Friesen.
She's going to walk it up.
And one of those times as you can as we're halfway through the 4th quarter now. And that lead up to 20. It's been 21, I think, the biggest one so far. It's been 17 at the half and 17 after the 3rd.
I thought North Polk they were making a run in the 3rd quarter, and I thought they were going to get over the hump.
Yep, they started to, but then credit Crestwood for answering back, and now Boderman will pull it out and get it back to Friesen. And Ellie Friesen with 17 assists, and there we go.
She wasn't even balanced. She's falling away when she made that.
31.
And that was Goodman that made that shot.
Yep, 31 points for Goodman. Kick it out. There's a 3. Good. No, there's a 2. They're going to say it was a 2 for Jaden Murphy. She's got 16. And another timeout for North Polk. They're going to take a full timeout, trailing by 20, 3:06 to play. Back with more after this on CISN.TV.
It has become something of a lost art. Remembering someone's face. Remembering a name. They're the building blocks of a strong, caring community. Can you think of anything else more important than that? We can't.
Back here at Wells Fargo Arena, 68-48, you see the score there. Crestwood, the #1 seed, looking to advance to the title game to face the winner of our second 3A semifinal, Monticello and Sioux Center. We already have set the 5A. It'll be Iowa City, an all-Iowa City final with City High taking on Iowa City West. And then in 4A, Marion and Grinnell will face off. Both those games tomorrow night. 6 o'clock for the 5A and 8 o'clock for the 4A. Those on IPTV as we hand it off after the semifinals to our friends at IPTV. And here we go. Danielle Bonewitz in for North Polk here during the timeout. Pisney now gets it back. And Ellie Friesen. She has 7 points, 17 assists, though, on the day.
You know, I was just looking, and Crestwood's closest game this season was a 65-53 win against Lyle. I think that's in Minnesota. Otherwise, they have won by 20, 25, 30 points. I mean, they've really never have been contested.
What are they averaging? 78?
Yeah, so 78 points. Oh, no, that's their average 69.8.
So right at their average right now,
Yeah.
and they're probably going to finish above that a little bit unless they really take the air out of the ball here late.
And you always wonder when a team hasn't been tested during the season,
Yeah.
how they're going to respond when they get down here.
Yeah, because they get down here and you get the competition steps up, and sometimes you get a little more of a test. But
Yeah, when you haven't had playing under that pressure.
into Goodman, and 33 now for Goodman. And it's 70 to 48, a 22-point lead. I think that is the biggest. Here's the steal. Should be an easy one up the other way. It is for Pisney. And Pisney has 24 points. And another timeout by North Polk here. And we'll take another break. Back with more after this on CISN.TV.
The opportunities I've had, the people I've met, I couldn't have imagined a better college experience. The professor gets to know you really quickly. I know that people know who I am and that they care about me. With the opportunities I have here, I'm going to be able to succeed. Now I just feel like I can do anything. I don't know, just the opportunity. I've had, the people I've met, I couldn't have imagined a better college experience. The professor gets to know you really quickly. I know that people know who I am and that they care about me. With the opportunities I have here, I'm going to be able to succeed. Now I just feel like I can do anything. I don't know.
Wells Fargo Arena on CISN.TV. You see the happy cadet fans there as their team a minute 54 away from advancing. And a not so happy North Polk Pep.
Yeah. It looks like Coach put in all of his seniors for Crestwood. He just made a substitution for Thomas, went in for Goodman. She's a senior.
And blocked there by Pisney. So yeah, he gets Kaylee Thomas in there because Goodman was the only non-senior in the starting lineup, the sophomore.
Yep.
And timeout by Crestwood. We'll keep it right here.
It's going to be a rebuilding year after this year for Crestwood.
And they graduate 5 seniors, 4 of them in the starting lineup. But you got that sophomore center at 6'2", a good person to rebuild around, a good post to start with.
If you get a point guard and you have her, I think you're going to be all right because the point guard makes everything go.
Yeah. Yeah, because you get the outside distributor, and then you know you have to watch the post down low. And looks like we've had some changes here for also North Polk. Maddie Bruggeman, Hannah Foster into the lineup. Also, Callie Hoppert. And
well, North Polk has nothing to be ashamed of. Had they had a little better first quarter, because they really fought after that, you know. But like you had said earlier, when you're that far down,
battle for it down there. They dribble it out. That's Ferry out to Gall. On the drive is Shelton, and the jumper short. Rebound battled for inside and pulled away by Danielle Bonowitz. Minute to play. That's Sydney Allball with it. She drives in and catch the high dribble. And they're going to let him keep playing here. So, some good playing time off the bench, and the 3 is off, no good. And the rebound comes down to the Cadets. And they'll call timeout, and they'll let
you know,
Samantha Balk get in.
That's what it's all about, right
Yep.
there. You didn't have to do that to let a person get in, play the state tournament.
She'll get in and get her 39.1 seconds, and years from now, it may be, you know, she was in for 5 or 6 minutes, whatever, but
whatever the story
she'll
ends up
remember it.
being.
Yeah, whatever works.
That's a good one.
I have exactly 0 seconds and minutes in the state tournament, so, you know, she's got me beat by a long shot there.
Hey, but you coach every game. You're down here courtside.
Oh, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, we were talking earlier. We haven't missed a call here on the sideline of the officials. It's easy to second guess them, but it's fun to do. Got the best seat in the house here
Exactly.
on CISN.TV, and there's a foul. And
Well, I tell you what, for Crestwood to make it to the state championship game, it's a long time coming. They've been traditionally a wrestling school, and really girls softball, and then that changed, and they've been down here plenty of times, so it's really nice to see them get rewarded for it.
Taken out of there at the buzzer, not gonna go. Almost got in the scorebook there for Sydney Albaugh, but the final here will be 72-48. Crestwood will advance to face the winner of our second semifinal. Monticello and Sioux Center set to go about 6:45. So this one got over quickly. We'll have that one come up. Let's take a break. We'll come back and wrap up the scoring, wrap up this ballgame on CISN.TV.
And here, we don't just dream, we make history by nearly doubling our clean energy as part of our 100% renewable vision. With this, our energy costs will remain some of the lowest in the nation. We'll create new jobs and boost economic growth. Our air will be cleaner, our state stronger, and together we'll advance this country's energy future forever. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service. This is Iowa.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us. Or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
It has become something of a lost art. Remembering someone's face. Remembering a name. They're the building blocks of a strong, caring community. Can you think of anything else more important than that? We can't.
For the Seal, it's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau Seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the Seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the Seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Let me get my spectacles on here so I can read the stats. 72-48. Crestwood wins, and behind a state record for all classes, 18 assists for Ellie Friesen and Jackie Sapp. Let's see, we see there. Well, we're not seeing that. We're seeing some of the replays here on the scoreboard, but that's what you want, the point guard who can distribute, and she ended up with Ellie Friesen had 8 points, but 18 assists, and that's any class. That's a record in the state tournament.
That's pretty impressive. I want to say that it was 12, and it was by...
Yeah, 12 in the first... Well, 12 in the first half she had. Yeah, okay.
No, I was going to say 12.
Oh, the record was 12?
And it was by a girl from Waukee.
That might be.
And that was in the state championship. The only reason I know it's because my dentist's daughter, and that's why I know that she won it. But another impressive thing is Goodman had 33. She had 20 the first night out, so that's 53 combined points. That's a lot of points.
Yeah,
that's a lot of points.
That's pushing up there. And Shannon Pisney with 24, 8 for Emily Friesen, 7 for Ellie Friesen. For North Polk, 16 for Jaden Murphy, and I think 11 of those came in the second quarter when she tried to pull them back. 15 for Katie Brown. She had 5 3-pointers, 6 for Becca Lay, 3 for Katie Scott, and 3 for Carolyn Steffen. But man, that first quarter was the big one, 28-7, and Crestwood.
The damage was done.
Yeah, Crestwood just came out with the power, and then it was just, we talked about it, just too much to overcome for North Polk. They didn't give up, but a big hole to dig out of there.
And as I said earlier, this is only a positive going forward. They're young, and to get down here and then have that confidence and then go back and go into next season, only good things can happen for them. So kudos to them, and they played a good game.
So Crestwood fans, you can watch IPTV at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Well, most of them will probably be here, but those that can't make it here can watch IPTV for the 3A championship. So one more semifinal today to set up the 3A championship matchup. And Jackie Sapp, once again, a pleasure working the game with you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that's going to wrap it up here on CISN.TV.
Central Iowa Sports Network. You can check CISN.TV for a replay of this game The free coverage of today's game was presented by Mid-American Energy, Schottenkirk Chevy of Waukee, Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottlers, and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union.
And there's a travel.